Chelsea won, Bournemouth nil, and who'd have seen that coming when you're actually watching that game? That Jadon Sancho has changed the game, and you know what? I love nothing more. A lot of content creators, they want to be right all the time. Everyone wants to be right all the time. We don't like feeling like we have egg on our faces and we got things wrong. I will gladly be proven wrong with Jadon Sancho. I was very sceptical on this signing. I still am, but what a performance. A game-changing performance. The guy was the most dangerous player on the pitch. He was nutmegging Bournemouth players for fun, and then he threads a pass through for Christopher Nkunku, also off the bench, to go and bag and win that game for Chelsea with a clean sheet. We don't do clean sheets. And I think it was like 17, 18 games Chelsea have gone away from home without getting one, and we've gone and got one. So, what a result. Not what a performance. It was very much a post-international break, slow, lethargic. Oh my God, the passing around at the back. We give a penalty away from trying to pass around the back too much. Why do we keep going backwards? We kept looking to go backwards. It's like, lads, what are you doing? But I have to give credit to people I've been sceptical on, and not just Jadon Sancho, and we'll get to him more, but Robert Sanchez. That is a pivotal moment in that game, is saving that penalty. And I actually thought he made a number of good saves. There was no scarecrow antics that we're used to when it comes to Bob. He usually fills me with dread, fills me with nerves. I was felt with joy watching Robert Sanchez today. He performed like a keeper, and if he can keep that up, that's brilliant for Chelsea. But what a win. What a win. A win that we were probably less deserving of when we were more deserving of against Palace. It's kind of like, if we'd drawn this one and won that one, it would have been more fair. Who cares? We've ended up doing it the hard way. And honestly, I am shocked. What a pleasant surprise that was from Jadon Sancho. It's like opening up a Christmas gift. I did not know what to expect with this guy. I don't know how motivated he is. He looked like he was. He really looked like he was. And if we can see that guy week in, week out, that's a big thing for Chelsea, because we did not see that guy in the Premier League at Manchester United. Nowhere near on a consistent basis, put it that way. So there's a long way to go in that regard, but it's a great building block. It is a great building block. And I want to talk about some of the things that I think are noticeable now. We're 4 games in. Obviously, we're learning more and more, because Maresca, there's not a lot we've got on him other than he was at Leicester last year, he wins the league. But you'd expect Leicester to win the league. Leicester, a team that you think belong in the Premier League, right? However, something I've really noticed, and it's come in our 2 wins now with Wolves and Bournemouth today, the proactive substitutions. I'm a big fan of that. Jose Mourinho never used to leave any stone unturned when it came to trying to change a game quickly if it wasn't working out for the best. And we've seen in both these wins now, half-time changes. Sancho came on at half-time and he did increase the impetus. It increased us in terms of trying to create chances. There was a couple balls he played to Cucurella where he looked for a cutback, or he tried to cut in. One he played for Jackson who tried to bend one in. We weren't doing anything like that in the first half, and that was great. But it also happened at Wolves. And in this case, it was Pedro Neto taken off. But in that game, it was Pedro Neto put on for Mudryk. And that changed the game for us. So I really like that. And obviously the goal scorer in Nkunku, another substitute. Like, this guy does not wait around for the opposition to score, because that's how it's felt in recent years at Chelsea. I felt a lot of managers are very tentative in changing things. They're a bit worried, let's just wait till it works. This guy is kind of looking at things and going, no, this ain't working. I'm not having that. You get off. I've got enough talent on my bench to change this game. And that's been so pleasant to see and refreshing to see, because it's got us those 2 wins. Those bold decisions from that bald man have got us 2 wins. Whatever way you want to look at it, those subs have changed the game, and they've won that for Chelsea. But honestly, what a weird game. Because that game, we've walked away from, not just with a win, but a win against Anthony Taylor. Because Anthony Taylor, he was up to his old shenanigans. And I know people might want to say Cucurella maybe could have got a second yellow. I'd agree. He could have got a second yellow. But he didn't second yellow Cook. So I felt like that was 1-1 in that regard. But we walk away from this Premier League game creating history with Bournemouth. The most yellow cards in a game in Premier League history. Now, what game did you guys watch? Because I did not watch a game that warranted the most yellow cards in Premier League history. I did not watch some filthy, foul affair with God knows how many awful tackles going in and flying in. The Battle of the Bridge had less yellows than that. What are you on about? Anthony Taylor, mate. Like, can we all just... We need him gone. Chelsea fans, I know we need him gone, but surely other fans want this. They want this bald bastard out of football. He is dreadful. Like, there was one point where Colwell makes a really good tackle. He doesn't give the foul, and then he goes, nah, I'm going to give a foul. I'm going to give a yellow. I'm not having it. I'm not having it, Anthony. You can't dampen my joy this time, because we've actually won a game with Anthony Taylor in charge. Honestly, I'm buzzing. Maybe that's one of the biggest wins Enzo Maresca can ever have as a Chelsea manager, is the fact that we've won a game with a clean sheet with Anthony Taylor in charge. Like, that's rare. And look, he had to give the penalty. I'm not going to blame him for some of those decisions. I just thought it was nuts. We've walked away with a record number of yellows, between two teams in a game that just didn't warrant that, did it? It wasn't that bad a game. It wasn't that violent a game. It was not Battle of the Bridge 2.0. It was a pretty dull affair, and Chelsea did not play well, particularly in that first half. It was very international break vibes. I know City took a bit to get into gear today, that in the goal early doors. Liverpool weren't able to turn it on. It happens, I get that, but oh my god, guys, like, we spent £1 billion when we're watching Disasi have to try and build up as a right back, and that is not, it is a knock on Disasi, but it's not a knock on him in the sense that he should not be the right back that we're watching. We should be watching Reece James or Malagusto. Like, guys, sort it out, especially Reece, man. I love him to bits, but those hamstrings are cheese strings. Those legs are made of biscuits. What is going on, Reece? We need you back. We know how top a player you are, and we never get to see it, and it's devastating because we're watching that. Reece must be watching this, being like, come on, man, I need these knees to work. We need these legs. We need these hamstrings working. Because Chelsea fans cannot be subjected to watching that. Jesus Christ. That actually was a sub that changed the game. When you think we needed a goal, it could have gone either way. At the end of the game, if we don't win that game, people are looking at Maresca going, why'd you put a centre-back on? Why'd you put Tosin on? I actually thought it helped our build-up a lot. I think it's something notable that we should be looking at, and maybe something he's seen and thought, in-game, he's noticed a solution for a problem. And we had a problem going on there with Disasi in terms of build-up. A number of times we were giving the ball away and also getting caught out from it. You know, that's where Bournemouth's chances, which were mainly long-range efforts in general, but the penalty even coming about from that, from us pissing around at the back. You don't need it. You don't need to be doing it. And if you are going to do it, you need players who are adequate at doing it. And Axel Disasi, that's not his game. Like I said, that's not a knock on him. There are qualities in the player. Not that I think he's amazing or anything, but as a centre-back where he can do a job in certain ways. That ain't one of them. And yeah, I just think to have spent £1 billion and we're watching that is pretty crazy. I'm sure Chelsea fans are in agreement with that. But despite a really shoddy performance in a lot of places, even in that second half, as much as I think Sancho was our most intense attacker, I didn't think Palmer was particularly at it today. I know he's getting fouled quite a bit. I didn't think Jackson was at it. I know he had a chance where he made a good run, but, you know, Haaland puts that away. I'm not going to blame him, but you knew he weren't going to score, didn't you? And Madueke didn't have a game where he was particularly shining either. Neither did Neto, obviously coming off at half-time. So I was happy with the subs. I think the subs really made a good effort. João Felix was a bit head down, you know, chicken, the headless chicken, sort of just trying to run at players the whole time. I was like, mate, just slow it down. You can play the ball. You can pass, all right? You can pass at times. It doesn't have to always be go for the wonder goal, but I don't really care because we've ended up winning. And we've ended up winning with Vince Taylor away from home with a clean sheet in a game that we didn't really deserve a win. Not massively. Like, we've got away with one there. You know, we've had a penalty that we saved. They hit the woodwork a bit. We weren't creating tons and tons of chances. We weren't playing particularly well, but we've got the job done. And a lot of top teams are capable of doing that, and we weren't capable of doing that against Palace. And we played better against Palace than we did today against Bournemouth. So that's kind of even one out, and it sets us up a bit more nicely going to West Ham away. And hopefully, you know, raises the confidence of the lads, thinking like, okay, even in those difficult conditions, even with Taylor, you can still do it. You can still get a win. You can still grind out a win, going right to the death and getting that goal late on. I am buzzing. What a sad evening, guys. Liverpool lost as well. Can't stand them. That's lovely. We can actually watch match today and enjoy it. And we can enjoy the North London derby tomorrow, knowing it's a win-win. Because if Spurs drop points, we know we're going to be competing in and around Spurs. Sadly, let's be real, we're not going to be competing with Arsenal this season. They're going to be going for the league. But if they drop points, it's hilarious because, yeah, no one wants to see them win anything either. So it's a win-win in that regard, and we can actually enjoy it because we've got our result. We've got our business done. That's what it's about. And, yeah, it's nice knowing that a lot of other rival fans probably would have watched Chelsea today, being like, oh, look how awful they are, look at this. And then you end up having to watch us win at the end, pretty fairly undeservedly. But they had to endure all that. It wasn't even like we scored early and then they switched the TV off. They watched the whole thing just for that. Jadon Sancho, writing his own script. Jadon, prove me wrong. I said it when he signed. I hope he proves me wrong. And performances like that will shut up anyone. If anything, if I'm a United fan watching that today, knowing that United will want to be competing for the same things we're going to be competing for this season, you'd be pretty pissed off, wouldn't you? You'd be thinking, we didn't see that enough. Jesus, if you played like that, we wouldn't be sending you out on loan. We wouldn't be getting rid of you for 20 million. So very happy in that regard. In terms of also other bits of praise, I actually was really happy with Caicedo's performance today, and a number of them to keep their cool at times. I know it wasn't great, and there was a number of times we were giving the ball away. It wasn't slick build up. It was not a performance to be, you know, dazzling about as much as the win is great. I didn't think players were bad in terms of keeping their cool because there was a lot of yellow cards flying around, and a second yellow could have easily gone. And do you know what? The Cucurella one, where maybe he could have had a second yellow in the same way Cook could have, it was a good foul to make. Tosin played a silly pass and they were kind of away. I was actually really happy he took him down, even if he ran that risk. because we need a bit of that. You need that streetwise. Got to make the foul sometimes. As much as Taylor's just handing out yellows left, right, and rhubarb, it had to be done. But I'm buzzing. I'm absolutely buzzing because it feels like we haven't had a win like that in a long time. A clean sheet we haven't away from home. So that is factually a long time since we've had that. But a late win where maybe we didn't play well, but we got the job done. They're few and far between in recent years at Chelsea. They're the type of wins that you grow to expect when Chelsea were good, in that most weeks we played well, so when we played off, we could still get the job done. This lot, it's felt very much, for a number of years, they have to play well to win. If they don't play well, even if they play well, they don't always win. Like Palace last week, the week before rather, but you get my point. Like it's a ground out win, and one to take pride from, move forward with, look a bit more up to speed next week, and hopefully have it right back. Can we have Gusto or Reece back, please? Or even give Achimpong a go, How bad can that youngster be? Like, I've seen bits and bobs of him, he looks talented. Or at least Enzo Maresca's looking at other solutions. In bringing Tosin in, we did look better in build-up. I think that should be stated. It's something that'll probably go under the radar, so, point it out, basically. But I'm absolutely buzzing. I hope everyone else is going to enjoy their weekend now. We can enjoy the North London derby, enjoy re-watching those match of the day highlights of the Chelsea, because it's always nice revelling in a win, particularly a late one where you feel like we've kind of snuck that one. So absolutely lovely stuff. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the win. Let me know what you thought of Sancho. Is Sancho the pivotal change in the Clear Lake ownership? Is this the transformative signing somehow that no one saw coming? Because more performances like that, Jadon. More performances like that. And when Cole wasn't even up to speed. If we have Cole up to speed and he's playing like that, then we got some options, Neto, etc. Like, come on, mate. I'm just so surprised with that. I'm so pleasantly surprised. So yeah, let me know what you think. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. That stuff helps me out a lot. It lets YouTube know this is the place to be. This is the Chelsea place to be. This is your place to be. So yeah, enjoy your weekends, guys. Up the Chelsea.